We are back. This is the Armory. I'm Archaic. This is
Zaevul?
yes, and this is part 2 of our first lesson. So we've gone ahead, jumped in some games, and we're going to try and work on some of the things, sort of the things that we talked about in the first part, and we're going to see how Zaevul does. So, sort of as a recap, can you sort of say what we've been talking about? Recap really quickly?
Yes. We've been talking about not throwing all my money in technology when the other guy isn't, because then his army beats me. So I should build army if he's building army, and only beat him by as much as, or I only need to beat him as much as I need to beat him.
Yeah, pretty much.
By running faster.
Pretty much.
Yes.
You only need a small margin to win in all 1v1s, and strength in numbers early game. Reactors are technology, not production.
Yes.
Okay, so we have already loaded up this game. We're going to go ahead and get started. I will be doing over-the-shoulder coaching of Zaevul as we play. We're going to probably get 2 games in, hopefully, guys. And let's go ahead and switch over to that. And you can go ahead and unpause whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm going to unpause. 3, 2, 1.
Game resumed.
All right, and we have Zaevul in the blue trunks, spawning
Blue trunks.
at the bottom right of this map, which is Star Station, I believe.
Why not?
I don't know why not. Who knows? Who knows? Who makes these maps?
Map designers.
So, when we talk about scouting versus Protoss, the most common SCV timing is to send out your SCV after he finishes the barracks. On this map specifically, it's only cross-spawn for the ladder edition. So that's something you just put down in the notebook and just remember.
Okay.
And for all you viewers, I've told our opponent here to do sort of a very different few Protoss openings. So it's going to definitely require Zaevul to make sure he knows what the Protoss is doing, because otherwise it's going to drastically punish him. So all of you Terrans, I'm sure know the dreaded Dark Templars, 4 gates, ridiculous fast expands. Protoss have quite a bit of variety early game. And you can sort of say what you're thinking about Zaevul, or sort of.
I'm trying to think about when exactly I should scout. I'm thinking that at what point. Well, I could initially. I guess I could. Yeah, send this guy over to find out if he went Nexus first. Oh, it's cross spawn. Send him there.
So what do you think? So I'm just gonna pose this question then. So if you see something like a Nexus first, what do you think a good response would be? And if you,
CC, or should I attack?
if you screw up as far as supply depots, I won't hold you too accountable, because I am harassing you via verbal harassment as you try and play this
Being
game.
harassed.
So sorry, you said to grab your own CC.
Oh wait, no, that one. Okay, thing. There. Okay, he didn't CC first. Oops. Oh crap. Noob.
Yeah, and remember, the most important thing is supply depots, SCVs. Spend your money.
Run away!
Oh, good, you hotkeyed your command.
Looks like he,
Upgrade
yeah, I
complete.
usually do that initially. So there's a Twilight Council, so it looks like he's going DTs, which means I need to make sure I have detection, which means I need one of those buddies so I can build a thing with the stuff. And I'm gonna need...
And your money is getting quite high, so we
Yeah,
do want you spending
because
that in
I
whatever
need to
way.
stop being dumb. Oop, that was my supply, not tapped. Thing 5. What's this guy doing?
Your rally point for your command center is across
Yeah, it's the other side of the map. That's the
so
best.
this is good. Good. The
Okay.
viewers are getting a good taste of what silver play is. That's good.
It's really bad. That's what it is. Did my?
It's
oh,
good
it
to
didn't
see
die.
where you start. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is where you start.
This
boys
is
and
the
girls.
first lesson.
Right at the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Start from the bottom. Now the whole team.
Drake for life, man.
Dear sting.
Oh, and a bunch of your SCVs are actually following one SCV.
What? No!
So, yeah.
I never would have noticed that.
And we definitely want you spending that money. You've got a lot of money.
Oh, right. These guys need hotkeys. Go there. And some more stuff. I have one of these dudes.
And one thing I want you to think is, instead of thinking he's got a Twilight Council, he's going or not a Twilight Council. Is it called Twilight Council?
Yeah, Twilight Council, and then that leads into the
Don't think necessarily like that. Think he is spending a lot into technology. What does that mean for me? How do I get an advantage from that knowledge? And you definitely need to be spending your money. I don't care. Throw down a command center.
Yeah, I need
throw
to
down 5 turrets. Build more supply depots. Let's get that money spent. Let's do this. Let's do it. There's a little bite size. You took a little bite. And there are the DTs. You have a scan available. Okay, so we got past. Yes, you do have that turret.
No, stay away. Run back to the turret. No, not you guys. Frick.
So you're officially in trouble mode. Your money has eclipsed 1100. Oh, there's a little bit of
Yeah,
spending.
'cause I'm bro awesome. Super awesome. I'm gonna get supply capped immediately. The keys. This one. Oh, crap. Just got some free kills.
Yep. Yep. So you have excessive amounts of money again. You're not quite doing anything.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know what I'm doing.
When Mitch builds DTs, he builds a lot of DTs, man.
Yeah, man.
Well. Oh, the scan! And he runs away.
Of course he runs away.
He's all pansy. Okay, that's okay. You can
Base
GG if
is
you
under
like. I
attack.
don't mind.
Okay.
We can have a quick discussion.
About
Victory,
maybe a
son
turret
of
was a better idea.
bitch.
A turret at the front would be more useful, since there's no
Right.
possible way I could get a Raven.
Right. Right. Ravens are a difficult thing to get early game.
Because they're
So you
factory
spent.
Stargate
You
thing. Oh,
Talk about the things that you built. What did you have? You had what?
a
Engineering
lot of
bay?
focus on my scout. And then I had a lot of minerals that I didn't spend.
Right. Your macro got out of control.
Yup.
That's definitely something. So remember, first of all, supply depots. You did good until he killed all your supply depots. You did good until he killed them all. And then you should be making a buttload more
Right.
to make up for that. So that's definitely something. Remember, supply depot. That's just always the first thing. That should be, let's do it. Okay, SCVs. Not much to say about SCVs. And then spending your money was a big problem.
Yeah.
It was pretty simple, right? Your production was exposed, which means you can't spend your money because you didn't have proper turret placement.
Yeah.
So how do you think that game would have went if those DTs didn't, if you would have had a turret at the front?
I would have been able.
theorycraft a
They
bit.
would have been useless, and so they're super expensive units, and so then I would have the upper hand because he has useless units. Is this a new
Right.
game?
Yeah, we'll keep
Okay.
talking. We'll theorycraft. So, So you said you'd have a lot of units and he wouldn't, basically?
Game paused.
Yeah. Or I'd have, yeah, basically. And especially if I was able to kill them with Marines, which are super, super cheap, versus Dark Templar, which are like gas and. What? I'm playing against Tom. Yes?
Oh.
Is that what's supposed to
No,
be
that's
happening
not
here?
happening.
It's not
I'm
supposed to
sorry.
happen. Okay. I won! Victory is mine! Yes!
That's pretty good. That's what happens when I try to do two things at once. So
You made
here's the
Mitch
problem
Zaevul.
with your logic. So you said because he had Dark Templar. Oh, I need to create his party. You would be in a good spot because he DT'd.
Yeah, if I was able to keep his DTs from being able to do anything.
Here's where it kind of falls apart. Is you were making the command center, so you had a next step, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good thing. If you see your opponent rushing some way, the first thing you should be focusing on is just slightly doing more in the economic spending. So that's what you did. You spent just slightly, you did a command center, right? Which is pretty much the lowest investment you can make in pushing you forward. And then you got an engineering bay, so you had the proper tech. So that is good. Problem being, when he Dark Templar rushes, he's going to get an expand. He's going to have that expand, and he's going to deny your expand. So there has to be a way for you to push out and take your expansion with only turrets. It becomes difficult, right?
Right.
So one of the ways we deal with that as Terran is we start banking scans immediately. As soon as you see tech, you stop using mules because you're building that command center. And if you think about it, muling is a way of spending something on economy.
Right.
So in that game, you overspent in economy because you were dumping things into mules, which automatically gets you slightly ahead of Protoss because they can only have 16 workers saturated. You have 16 workers plus a mule. So you didn't really have a way to get out of your base. So definitely be thinking about that. You had sort of the right idea. So that's good. So let's start this game. Everything is okay. Oh, Mitch is Terran. Tell him to switch. Quick. Oh, good. So we're going to jump into this second game. Sort of, remember, supply depots, you did good until you lost some. SCVs, you're always good about that. And then, well, maybe not always good, but working on it. And I don't want to be too general here. And then focused on spending that money. And one of the things that happens to everybody, is when something goes wrong, i.e. Dark Templars show up and kill a bunch of stuff. I don't know, the 4-gate shows up and you don't quite have enough, like a bunker up or something. You go into this panic mode and you forget things like supply depots, SCVs, and spending your money. So that is what you need. First of all, quick peek at supply depots. Make sure your production is going to continue producing, because that is a negative snowball. If you're fighting a battle and you can't make units and he has more units, you lose that situation. It's a bad situation to be in. I've been in it many times, and I'm sure everyone has been in that situation. So supply depots definitely need to check. If you miss SCV production, no one's going to fault you for it, but do realize that producing SCVs in a battle is a way of pulling ahead of your opponent. Because if he's attacking or doing some big tech, a lot of the times they'll cut probes, they'll cut drones, and you'll be able to pull ahead just by simply defending and continuing to produce economy. So we see you going ahead, getting that barracks up, which is good. Good, and your SCVs are going as well. I guess the other option Protoss have been using for quick tech is sort of like an oracle, a really quick oracle. So that's the nice thing about an engineering bay, is it's more of a blanket approach. It can deal with multiple things. So against oracles, you don't necessarily, or you don't need to bank scans, because you'll be able to move out once you have a large enough army. So that's the nice thing about dealing with oracles.
Coming through.
Is you can be a little more aggressive in your economy spending. Oh crap.
What?
I'm sorry guys, I'm not in the game. That's okay, you didn't miss much.
Upgrade complete.
It's very common of me to forget
Our
things like that.
SCVs
We'll just go
are
ahead
under
and follow
attack.
Zaevul's camera. So you're scouting, you're seeing, you know, pretty standard things. Nothing to worry about too much. And he is only on one gas. So that's big telling with Protoss. Things like oracles, things like Dark Templar, it is possible to do those things, to spend on technology with one gas, but it's so incredibly inefficient that your worst response to their one gas will a lot of the time still end up you being ahead. So you don't necessarily need to worry about those technology openings. You need to worry about the basics, economics and army. And that's good. So you're getting that third barracks and you're getting your refinery. So you're definitely going to have a nice amount of units and a little tiny bit of tech as sort of a spice you're throwing on your competition.
Armed and ready.
We've done really good with supply depots, so that's very satisfying.
SCV
My
ready.
heart. To my Terran
This
heart.
better be good.
Ooh, the one thing you aren't doing is getting guys on that. Ah, there you go. Guys on
Oh,
that.
Armed
yeah.
and ready.
Good.
SCV ready.
Okay. So you're making a lot of units. You sort of didn't see much from him at all. So this
Yeah.
is where I start getting kind of worried.
SCV ready.
Is, in my opinion, you're going to need more information. So if you were to expand here, and then suddenly him show up with a
Our
buttload of
SCVs
units,
are under attack.
you're going to be worried. Because you're not sure if you drop that expansion.
Go, go, go.
One way of dealing with this is scanning. The problem with that
Some.
is it's you're not spending on
SCV ready.
so remember, every supply depot you lose is going to be very scary. It can really cause problems, and your money is going to lose. So definitely making those units, definitely making more supply depots if you haven't already, and just keep making units. You have a problem.
SCV ready.
All right.
Yay! I'm dead.
That's good. How does it feel to die? Oh, distraction. How does it feel to die, John or Zaevul?
It happens a lot, so I'm pretty used to it.
I don't like that. Let's just jump. So we'll just thank son of a Mitch for his help.
Son of a bitch! Thank you!
There
He's
you
sitting
go, Zach.
beside me over on the desk over there, in case anyone's wondering.
So just a quick look at time supply
Are,
cap.
are we done? He wants to know if we're done. Done. Sam.
Done with Mitch, yeah.
Yes, you're free to do as you please. Go back to Reddit or to sleep. Sure, why not? He's sick.
Oh,
It's a good thing it rained today because he didn't want to work anyways.
dissatisfying. So let's just talk about that game quickly.
My APM was above normal apparently.
So supply cap, you were sort of bumped around for
Kind of bad, yeah.
Yeah,
When he attacked, it was my attention
it gets
was not
problematic.
on. Then I lost a thinger, and he said he cheated by using a mothership core to see the high ground,
Oh.
which isn't really cheating, but
Yeah, so So that's one of the reasons why I think some Terrans don't supply wall, because it can really hurt you in some circumstances. But I think the information was definitely lacking in that game.
So I should have scouted later.
Well, I don't mind scouting when you did, because seeing things like a Nexus first, you're going to need to know a response. Seeing double gas, you'll need to know a response. Seeing what you did, it's kind of up in the air whether they go ahead and dump a lot of money in their economy, such as a Nexus, or if they dump a lot of money in gateways, such as Army. So it's really important to be sort of active on the map, and sort of, by say active, maybe sending out a Marine to his, not necessarily to his base, but sort of halfway if he's being aggressive. Because if he's being aggressive, that's sort of a key to being like, oh, he's being aggressive. Maybe he's building or investing a lot of money into his army. And the other side of the coin is, if he's not being aggressive, then you can do something like scan if he's just sitting at his ramp or something like that. So it's definitely important to be to sort of just know where he spent his money, because you know he has money. You just need to know where he's spending it, right?
Yeah.
So if you had seen a Nexus there, how do you think you would have responded? I'm just going to jump in this replay really quick.
Invite me to the replay. Don't forget to invite me to the replay.
To invite you to the replay?
Yeah, you should invite me to the replay if you're gonna watch the replay.
Oh man,
should invite me to the replay.
I meant to. It just
And then you didn't.
the whole like system
Kind of like how
of this new BattleNet. It's got like the watch solo and then watch with others.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I just
Well, yeah.
clicked
No,
the
we were both. Remember on the
oh, Mitch can leave the party. I should kick him. Can I
Yeah.
kick him? Remove
Kick.
the party.
Yeah, you're gonna have to remove him. He's not in Starcraft anymore.
Okay. So let's talk about if you had seen, because first of all, we want you to find out where your opponent's spending money. Remember, because we only need to beat him by a very small amount. So I'm just going to speed it up to where you're scouting, because that's kind of what we want to focus on today, sort of get you a basic understanding. And remember, it's just very simple. Economy, technology, and army. What's the tell of technology?
Tell.
Sort of, how do you know that he's spending money on economy? Or I mean,
Well, if I
technology.
saw on economy, if he had another Nexus up, I would know he's
Right,
spending a lot of money on
right.
economy.
If that's an obvious, very clear tell.
Yeah.
Game
So I'm just
paused.
looking at you scouting here. You did see a probe leave his base, but
Yeah.
that's not really much
So-
information.
Because it's just he's scouting me,
Game
probably
resumed.
throwing a pylon somewhere on the map, which is when I brought my. Now that I think of it, when my guy came back, I should have scouted my natural at least, and that little nook beside the. Notice some people like to put it there above my main, like the big ramp out of the natural,
Piece of me, boy.
Right.
and
right.
I didn't scout nothing.
So we were
I
talking
also
about,
have, for some
tells.
reason, I have an SUV sitting here for no reason. I never noticed it.
So we were talking about tells. So you went and scouted, and you said if he was spending money on economy, he'd get a Nexus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's something that you need. This SCV that's going home, you can keep him sort of around Mitch's base. And
And I know when he's moving out because it's only worth
Yeah.
50 minerals. So
you know when he's moving out, and if he doesn't move out, you can always poke up the ramp, and if you see a Nexus, then you've confirmed that he spent money on his economy. So then let's talk about technology. How do you sort of know that your opponent is going ahead and spending a lot, or going to be spending money in technology?
he's gonna be spending money in technology. If he had more like the
Game paused.
well, something's broken.
I'm just jumping back to when you were scouting.
When I'm scouting. So if I at this point, if he had 2 gas, I know he was going for some kind of tech play because you need the
Game
gas for
resumed.
tech.
Yeah, precisely.
But he only had the one. He only had the 1 gas.
You can't exactly spend money in technology without gas. That's kind of the assumption is you have this gas. Oh, I just hit a bunch of random buttons accidentally. You have this gas. You're going to be spending it in technology. Whether that technology is actually Dark Templar or maybe just
moving
the
up the tech.
forges.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Forges
like that.
+1/+1, going to air.
Yeah, you don't know, but what you do know is that he is investing for the future to spend money. So if you see double gas, you can always be thinking, okay, he's doing something with technology. And as far as army, what do you think sort of a tell is for building a bunch of army? If you
Lots of
don't
gateways.
explicitly see, well, say you don't explicitly see the gateways, like in that first game against Dark Templar, you explicitly saw the Citadel.
Yeah.
But if you don't explicitly see it, how do you think you would sort of know that he's going for something that includes a lot of units?
I don't know.
It comes down to, well, think about it like this. Someone who's building a lot of units, if they don't use those units for something, then those units were a waste. Money would have been way better spent in economy, right? Because then something snowballs. Later in the game, you'll have a lot more units than your opponent. But
Right.
if you're making units early, you need to do something with those units. So very simply, is if he's moving out, if he's being active on the map, then you need to start worrying about him making a large army.
Right.
Right, because in the same way, if you had spent all your money on barracks and say you had 5 barracks just pumping out Marines, what do you think would happen with those Marines?
I'd want to use them to attack him, or else he'd
Yeah,
be like way ahead in economy.
Exactly.
I have to go kill his SCB or his probes to make up for the fact that I don't have a second base.
Exactly, right? So technology is gases. That's what you want to be thinking about technology. And for Terran vs. Protoss, the simplest response to technology is an engineering bay. You've got starport defense with turrets, and you have detection for Dark Templar. Very simple way to think. Just get that engineering bay. I'm not going to talk about specific timings. We're just going to talk about let's get a couple turrets, and make sure the turrets are in a good spot. Specifically against Dark Templar, you're going to need those scans because you won't be able to expand. That's just a little side note you can put in the books for later. And then when we talk about... I just lost my train of thought. So gases is a tell for technology. When we talk about army, how aggressive, not necessarily aggressive, but how active, that's a good word. How active is your opponent out on the map? Because then you want to be thinking, okay, maybe I need to spend a scan and confirm that he isn't expanding. Because if I spend that scan, sure, I've sort of damaged or sort of
Lost potential income.
Yeah, lost potential. That's a great way of saying it. Lost potential income. But having that information means you can drop bunkers, right? You can have your second command center starting to drop 2 bunkers. You think that this 4-gate will work if you have 2 bunkers?
Game paused.
Bunkers.
It's not going to happen, right? Because you're going to pull some SCVs to repair the bunkers, and it's going to be it might be a little hairy, but the reality is that every second that he's building units and not building economy, your economy's snowballing. You're going to be able to roll out at a later time and have a very big timing window, if you will, a very big attack timing where he's going to have a lot smaller army. And if you continue working on your economy, it's going to snowball all through the rest of the game, as long as you don't overcommit to something. So we talked about army, we talked about technology, and finally just economy. What's a pretty obvious tell of economy?
No, more bases.
More bases, that's an explicit sort of, if you see the nexus, great. He's doing something with economy. What else could maybe do it? Sort of not explicit, seeing the nexus. How do you think
Oh, if he has tons of workers.
Workers, yeah. Just think about, if you saw gases, he's technology. If you
Yeah.
saw him being active on the map, think army. If he's doing neither, what else can he do, right? He's got to be doing something that's economic, which means you need to focus on something that's economic as well. Well building army. Because remember, early game, what's my catchphrase here? I've already forgotten. Strength in numbers. Strength in numbers. So even if you have a lot of army, you'll be able to deal with technology with a lot of army. With a little tiny bit of technology, something like turrets. Against a lot of tech, or is that what I just said? Against a lot of army, if you have a lot of army with a little bit more economy than your opponent, you're going to be in a good spot. You're going to defend, you're going to get big snowball effect, win later in the game. Against economy, that's where things start getting difficult. You need to scout his economy and know when your economy is to sort of know where you are in the game.
Right.
Right. So if he's not doing anything, if he's being passive, just think you need to be economy and you need to be adding to your production and your units. So that is it for episode 1. Thanks for watching, everybody. You will hear more of us. We'll be back next week as Zaevul does another 10 games or so, maybe a little less, on the ladder. And hopefully you can put this to practice.
Ladder.
And definitely take this to all your matchups. If you're seeing gas from your opponent, it's technology, whether it's Terran, Zerg, or Protoss, right? This is very general, broad strokes that we want you to focus on. And then always remember, fundamentals over everything, supply depots, SCVs, and spending that money, no matter what it costs. All right, awesome. I'm Archaic. This is Zaevul. This show is the Armory. We'll be back next week. Thanks, everybody, for watching.